Hey, we
Perfect.
welcome Kyle Westmoreland. Congratulations on your first win on the Korn Ferry Tour, man. How you feeling? How you doing? Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, feeling good. It's nice to get it done. I think admittedly, there was a few times last year where I, had the lead or was close to and had the opportunity to get it done and didn't. So I think in that sense, maybe appreciate this one even more because of that. And so it's been awesome for me. It's been awesome for our family. Great to come home. Great to, give the wife a kiss and our little baby boy and have a couple weeks off. But feeling good. At the beginning of the year in the Bahamas, I didn't have my best stuff. So I think we surprised ourselves a little bit. And that's always a great thing in golf.
Well, going back to that real quick, I mean, you finished 38th last year, I think it was, on the Korn Ferry list, and then you start off in the Bahamas at what you finished 74th or something like that, then missed two
Yeah.
cuts, and all of a sudden you come storming back in Bogota. You shoot a 61 on day three, set a course record at 10 under. What was that? What did you do? What do they have in
Well,
Bogota that we don't have up here? I guess I shouldn't
shoot,
ask that one.
there's one thing that I did which helped me for the week. I'd hit the ball pretty good in Panama. Panama was having that little time off between the Bahamas and Panama was nice. Went back, worked on it, got to Panama, hit it pretty good. Didn't putt it very good in Panama, so that can kind of be like a limiting factor, in the game of golf if you're not putting it very good. But actually switched putters for Bogota. So week one with a new putter, and
What was it?
um, it was working. It's the same setup. I arm lock it. It's the same grip, shaft, weight. It went from an Odyssey like a seven to a Spider,
Okay.
TaylorMade Spider, and it was good. It was good. I admittedly made nothing on Sunday up until about the 14th hole, and then it got hot, and so it was nice. It was nice. It was a nice change, and it was good to see some progression from Panama into Bogota. And I'm fortunate, I have a great team. Caddy, the guy that caddies for me down there is not my full-time guy, but he does like my stats and course prep. So we're able, we have a good game plan, solid game plan for that course in particular, and I think we executed it pretty well.
It's a unique event in Colombia with playing at elevation and two
Yeah.
different courses, and one that you can go super low with Cristobal last
Mhm.
year and Aldrich last year as well. But then you have another challenge for 3 rounds of it. How unique is that as a multi-course event because of all of those other factors that make it unique, not just that it's 2 courses?
Yeah, I think going into that week, third time playing down there, going into that week, that it's completely useless to look at a leaderboard until the third round, right? Like you have no relativity of like where you sit, just because there's a vast scoring average difference between those two courses, right? You have the short course, which almost every par four is drivable. It played a little tougher this year than it did last year. Last year was really soft, and this year it was, slightly better, but still very gettable. So you're really like it's a great tournament to practice, like just keeping your head down and playing golf. And so I think we did that pretty well. Didn't really, look up until, coming down the stretch, and yeah, we had talked about it beforehand, like our game plan, how we're going to go about it, and that course suits me pretty well. Playing in Colorado Springs, like you talked about altitude. Colorado Springs was 7,300 feet, so about as close as it can get
Yeah.
to a Bogota altitude. I'm comfortable teeing up the driver high, hitting it high, and spinning it, and that's how you make it go farther at altitude. And so I'm comfortable doing that. It allows me to push it up there on some holes, especially on that closing stretch. So, the comfort knowing that you have a little bit of, I wouldn't say an extra gear, but you have something in the tank for, the last five holes is pretty nice, right? You feel like you have like a card in your pocket, right? Or a card up your sleeve or whatever. So it was great for me. Great time. I think there's a lot to learn from that Bogota. They do such a good job supporting it down there. There's legitimately thousands of fans around the
Yeah.
18th hole, which doesn't really happen on the Korn Ferry Tour in the States, so it's just an awesome time, and thankful to get it done there.
We watched the your closing ceremony there, and you got a good little lesson in Espanol. Es muy
Yeah.
bueno on the speech you gave there. That was a home run, man.
Yeah, más o menos. But it was awesome. I've so my full-time caddy is from Mexico, originally lives in Lexington, Kentucky now. But we try to split 70-30 English Spanish when we're out there. So
That's cool.
um
It's
I
cool.
have he's my I call him full-time caddy, part-time Spanish teacher. So we've been talking about it, and there's a guy Greg that does runs a lot of the media for the Latin
Yeah.
events, and then he does South American swing as well. So he's been telling me for years that if I a couple of years that if I won, I needed to do the ceremony in Spanish, and he was there and helped me out with it. So I appreciate his help.
You rocked it. It was awesome. It
It was
sounded fun. How was the ride home? What was the celebration like?
Yeah. Oh man, you know what? I got on a it was cool. I was at the club, finished around 2:30. We didn't get out of there till 6. That course, they and their title sponsors, they do a great job of,
Oh yeah, man.
like they run you through like you do like the ceremony, you do like an autograph line, you do a picture line, you do another autograph line, you do another picture line. It's pretty cool, and everyone coming up and saying congratulations is awesome. Caddy and I ate some dinner, and then I went down to the clubhouse and ate with a few of the other guys. And we just it was very low key. I was flying out. I red-eyed home. I was on daddy daycare duty. So I red-eyed home, and I was watching our little guy for a couple days. So it was good. It was awesome to have dinner with the guys, to celebrate with the staff and the all the tournament, the host organization and all the volunteers. It was great to do it with them, and then have some dinner with some friends and the caddy, and then get home to the family. It's awesome.
How helpful has it been to have a couple week break before having to come back down, make that long trek again, and kind of decompress after a win instead of having to just keep on grinding right after having a trophy in your hands?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people say you want to keep playing, but I felt, I was very motivated to get home, go see the family. I think it's great. I think the scheduling is great this year,
Yeah.
having the weeks on the front end and the back end of this trip. Because, if you just sent guys straight forward, a lot of guys would not go this far south, right? Like
Yeah.
Argentina and Chile are a long way away. But to have
Long
it
way.
2 weeks back to back with a couple weeks on the front end, and I think 3 weeks on the back end, it's pretty nice. They did a good job scheduling it. So gives us time to spend some time with the family, prepare to be gone from them for a couple weeks, and then come back. So we're excited.
The last question. You're back at it, obviously, with Argentina. It seems like 1,000 points is kind of the number we've kind of heard floated as like the top 20 baseline. So you're more than halfway. You're halfway there, and then some. How long is it? Do you get to celebrate, and how long is it that then you got to get motivated? All right, I'm more than halfway there. Let's go finish the job.
Yeah, you know what? I think the first week that I was home, it was we're kind of taking it in, like responding to texts. I didn't do anything with my phone until a couple days after, so I owed some people some responses, and that was awesome. But at this point, I'm ready to get back at it. It admittedly, like last year, I did take we had our little guy, so wouldn't trade it for the world to be able to take
Awesome.
some time off. But this year, I'm just motivated. I won one. I got a taste. I want to win again. I want to win several more times. So we're our heads back down. We're working, and excited to try to get it done a second time.
Well, we appreciate what you have done. We're proud of you, man. But we're really proud of what you do on the side as well. We're big fans of the Folds of Honor. I know that you've been involved with Lieutenant Colonel
Hey.
Dan Rooney for a long time. Uh, and that's actually how you and I started up our conversation at French Lick. Um, Tell us about your journey with Lieutenant Colonel Dan, I should say.
Yeah, it's been awesome. He's been great. As you know, he's a very charismatic guy. He's full speed. Talk about coming in hot. That's Dan Rooney. Like basically, I don't know. I guess
I
he's
have stories, man.
I don't know exactly how old he is, but I gotta think since birth he's probably been coming in hot. So he's an awesome guy. I got introduced to him in college. I played their All American tournament down in Phoenix a couple times, and was fortunate to win it as a senior. And after I won it, we kind of we stayed in touch. He knew I was going to play professionally afterwards. We just didn't know how much service time I'd have. So during that service time each year, we'd do their Patriot, go to Oklahoma to play, and he's been very supportive. And so got to the biggest benefit personally for that was just getting to link up with senior tour guys and different guys and kind of pick their brains. Like I to that point, I hadn't run in those circles, so he afforded me those relationships and being able to, ask the Tom Layman's of the world, like, hey, what, for pointers, or Brad Faxons of the world, or Scott McCarron, like it was awesome. It was awesome. And through the years we've stayed in touch, and I think I'm gonna stay with him this year in Oklahoma right before we head to French Lick. So it'll
Awesome.
be it'll be awesome. The Folds does such great work, and they got the Folds Friday initiative that's coming out this year, and I just think it's for a great cause. Supporting um, the family members of those like lost or injured, through education, I think is about as important as it gets. So love their mission, love how they go about it, and proud that I can, wear the logo sometimes.
Well, with over 62,000 scholarships for the families of fallen veterans and first responders, we're more than happy to do whatever you guys need to make it go through. On another note, how about a shout out to some of your sponsors? I mean, you've been on the tour. People have supported you throughout the years. Anybody you want to say hi to out there?
Dude, I got all kinds of people, that I don't think even an individual sport like golf, like nothing happens without a team, right?
Yeah.
And that team starts with your family, who enables you to even do this. My wife, my son, my wife, basically allows me to play golf. She runs our lives, and I just try to like make, add up scores less than 5 at the end of the day, right? So family, sponsors, RSM has been great. There's B3 Group that was out there for a while, Puma, Cobra. Um, Man, it's just been such a great opportunity to meet, not only have sponsorship to allow me to play, but also to meet these people in these organizations,
Yeah.
and see I guess their desire to push, individuals forward in their games, and my sponsors, along with coaches, Jeff Smith, Alan Terrell, Chris Como helps me out. So like, it's Stephen Sweeney, like, man, we've got a team, and I'm proud of our team. My agent, Brad Buffoni. I'm proud of our team, and I think, with them, with their help, we can take this game a long way.
Well, we're proud of you, man. Thanks for coming on the road to French Lick. Hopefully we don't see you in French Lick. Hopefully we see you somewhere else.
Ah, you know
You're-
what? You know what? The number one spot, we were talking about it. The number one spot is very valuable. So I think regardless, you win 3 times and you get that automatic promotion. I think it could very well be worth it in the end to come back to French Lick. And by the way, it's the hardest tournament. It's the hardest course of the year, and I think it's an awesome venue for the finals. For the Korn Ferry Tour Championship to end in French Lick, where you make your difference tee to green, is very important, because the PGA Tour, the top guys on the PGA Tour separate themselves strokes gained tee to green, right? And French Lick measures exactly that. It beat me up a little bit on Sunday last year, but
yeah.
it's just an awesome spot. We appreciate y'all doing it. Nothing. Sundays don't happen without Wednesdays, and I know that y'all do so much to make sure those pro-ams happen, and bring people in. So I was fortunate to be at Victoria National before.
Yeah.
That place was hard. French Lick might be harder. I don't know. But it's awesome to have that tournament as the tour championship. So I appreciate it.
Tell you, United Leasing and Finance, Ron Romaine, his group have just been fantastic partners, and we were really excited about having it this year. But we have 4 more years left to go, and hopefully more than after that. So,
Yeah,
Kyle Westmoreland, man, you're the bomb. Congrats, brother.
Thank you. One day, if you really want to ruffle some feathers, you can put that tee box back on 16 and see what happens.
Okay. I tell you what, that thing is what, 301, 301 from back there, water on the right hand side with the wind blowing right to left the whole time. So
it's got to be the hardest par 3 in the world.
There's a fairway bunker in the middle on a par 3.
Yeah, there's water right, and there's gunch left. Like I mean, from 301 yards, I've never seen a par 3 that hard. It's probably like a pretty manageable par 5, I'd say, from back there.
Well, I've had many 5s from back there before. So
Perfect.
That's par for me.
Yeah,
well, I tell you what, you keep this up, you can be on a show whenever you want, man.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great one, and thanks for having me on.